Saf. Hey. Yo, what's going on with you, man? All right, so here's what's up. I'm going to take a minute to tweet out the stream, let everybody know what I'm doing, and then I'm going to start recording the next episode of The Dark Side of Gaming. Oh, cool. I have more Instagram followers than I thought I did. I did. I didn't realize I was up to 305. That's all right. Hey, Mary jumped over. What's up, Miss Mary? Thank you. Thanks for joining. I'm just taking a second to tweet out the stream, let everybody know what I'm doing. Um, the goal of tonight is to finish the next episode of a podcast that I am the host of. It's called The Dark Side of Gaming, and this episode is about Silent Hills PT, one of the scariest game demos to ever exist, and it never got turned into a game. It's the most ridiculous thing. Lots of mysteries and lore behind this one, so this is going to be a really deep dive. All right, team. Let me go get some water real quick, and then I think I'll be ready to jump in. Give me 60 seconds. Hey, Sapphire and Mary. Glad you guys are here. Thank you. Both of you. Tell me about the favorite part of your day today. I'm curious. I'm good. Yo, Saf, I'm always good, though. Um, I'm boring like that. Yeah, but I'm curious to hear about... Oh, yes, Dee Dee. What's going on? Welcome. Dee Dee, join in. I just asked Sapphire and Mary what their favorite parts of the day was from today. Like the one part that was like, bam, major day. Even if it was still a bad day, there's something good to hold on to that happened today. I want to know what that was for you. Again, I'm going to take a second to finish tweeting out the stream, set up my recording situation, and then we can start cooking here in just a second. I'll take the please stand by graphic off, and then I'll switch on the live graphic, and then we'll go from there. Diddly-dee-dee-dee. The dark side of gaming. This is the awkward silence getting set up. Oh, there it is. Sapphire says, me finally... Oh, hold on, Dee real quick says, my favorite part of the day was coming home from work. Yes, I just needed to relax. Yo, I feel that. My work today was eventful. I was very happy to get out of there. Sapphire, was your favorite part of the day was me finally having my Instagram and Facebook working again after them being messed up. Yeah, dude, for real. They were down. Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, since they're all owned by the same whatever company or whatever. When one goes down, they all go down, dude. It's nuts. And then Mary, your favorite part of the day was having my daughter actually sit and tell me why she cried at school today. Oh man, instead of her usual I don't know, it was a nice little moment. Good for you, man, and good for her for being able to open up like that. That's awesome. Proud moment for everybody, I'm sure. MCT, welcome. Yo, I'm almost done tweeting the stream out, setting up my recording station, and Miss Creepy Tales. If you can hear me, I know you just kind of lurk while you're in school sometimes, but happy afternoon to you, by the way. But if you can hear, I want to know what your favorite part of the day was so far. I know it's not even halfway over, but there's got to be something cool that's happened between when you woke up and now when you're at school. So let me know while I finish getting set up here. If you guys like this background music, first of all, if you can hear it, thank you again for Mary for helping me test the audio levels earlier. If you like the background music, it's just Stream Beats by Harris Heller in his situation. If you know him from Twitch, he's a cool dude. This is like the best royalty-free, copyright-free stuff that's available right now. It's awesome. It's legit. All right. Radio voice on. MCT, your favorite part of the day was waking up and seeing all your pets. It's the best part of your day. That's wonderful. I work from home, so it's pretty chill. Teaching class while my cat is on the table and my dog's on the floor. That's perfect, man. That's the life right there. I'm happy for you and your pets. You all get to see each other for a big part of the day. That's cool, man. All right. Well, I'm going to get rid of this graphic. Here we go. Here we go. If you're watching this on the replay, welcome to the 11.5-minute mark. We're here. We're live. We're going to record some stuff. Sapphire says the music reminds her of Pokemon. Dude, I'm sure that might have been intentional. So it's cool. All right. We're kicking this off. Here's what we're doing. I am the host of a podcast called The Dark Side of Gaming. And what we do is we take a deep dive into some of the darker mysteries and lore behind specific video games and the creators behind them. It's super fun. I've done a few episodes so far, and this particular one is one that I've been very much looking forward to. It's going to deep dive into the world of Silent Hills PT. If you don't know, this was a playable demo within the game's e-store, and it's one of the scariest demos I've ever seen or played before. Never got turned into a game. Pretty bummed about that. There's a whole bunch of drama behind the scenes that stopped it from happening, and just a whole bunch of nonsense, man. As just a fan who liked playing the demo and who would have enjoyed playing the game, incredibly bummed. And I'll be... Oh, hold on. Okay, cool. And I'll be honest with you, I've I've not read more than just a couple of paragraphs of this script so far, so we're gonna be learning together, man, because that's just how we do it. And I can already tell there's like some like I'm forgetting the word, but like Greek mythological names in here, like Tartarus, Sisyphus. I may have to pause when I get there just to look up how to pronounce that, how to pronounce these words. But yeah, anyways. All right. Let me double check a few things. Guys. All right. This is the dark side of gaming. There was a man who lived long ago. A man that time and time again... A man that would time and time again attempt to trick and weasel his way around the gods that governed him. His cunning allowed the man to cheat the cold grips of death twice. Once by chaining up death himself, and again by returning to punish his wife for not performing a proper ritual. Though the Greek gods weren't known for their pity, the man would have to pay for his transgressions. Making a mockery of the gods sitting in Olympus would not be taken lightly. This man's name was Sisyphus, and when he could no longer escape death, falling victim to his age, Zeus found a fitting punishment for the man. Sent down to the horrid likes of Tartarus, a hell beneath hell. Sisyphus was cursed. I didn't like the way I read that line. Zeus found a punishment for the man. He sent him down to the horrid likes of Tartarus, a hell beneath hell. Sisyphus was cursed to push a heavy boulder up a hill. What at first seemed a simple task quickly revealed its cruelty for the cunning man, for as Sisyphus was about to crest the hill and complete his punishment, he felt the boulder shift. The rock rubbed against his skin as it loosened from his shoulder, rolled back down the hill, forcing him to walk down and begin pushing the boulder again. Every time he would reach the top of the hill, he'd feel the rock roll off of him. No amount of cunning or trickery would allow Sisyphus to complete his punishment. He would be forced to roll the boulder up a hill for all eternity, able to see himself so close to his goal, only to have it stripped away for all eternity. I think that is enough of a passage real quick. I'm going to pause there. Let's go check this stream. MCT, I will lurk for now. Thanks, I know. I know how you roll. Thank you. Damn, clearing my throat too much tonight. If anyone's if anyone's been on a Lady Spookaria live stream, then you know that I'm taking a sippy sip at the moment. I hate saying that out loud. But I do it anyway. All right. Getting back to the script. This is a Sisyphean task, a fruitless effort of repeating actions with little to no payoff, a loop leading nowhere, trapped in the outcome of your own choices. On the 12th of August in 2014, those who hopped onto their PlayStations and navigated to the virtual storefront would be able to experience something that was nothing short of Sisyphean. With little fanfare or marketing, a game simply titled PT was released onto the digital store and published by Studio 7780. Those curious enough to download and boot up the game would be met with a dim and misty forest with a gravestone. On said gravestone would be the title of the game, and then the screen would shift to black as it loaded. Soon, the player's point of view would be revealed as their character opened their eyes. Laying on the floor, the player comes to and starts to rise in the cold and dark square room they've awakened in. There isn't anything more than a humming fluorescent bulb above the door in front of you, and a few cockroaches to keep you company. The player swiftly gains control and is able to inspect the room, finding nothing worth noting. Finding nothing worth noting as the player exits the room. Though, through the door, the player finds a long hallway. Lights and paintings hang on white walls on both sides, overhead lights reflecting off the hardwood floor. This hallway is what will become the player's boulder, the one they must push up the hill. Pushing the boulder up will lead the player further into the home. Eventually, meeting a window looking out into a dark and uncertain world, the player turns right to find another... I just got a big notification in my headphones. Sorry, scared me. When you're reading scary things and something scary happens, you're like, whoa, this is not what I signed up for. All right, here we go. Eventually meeting a window looking out into a dark and uncertain... Oh, shit. Eventually meeting a window looking out into a dark and uncertain world, the player turns right to find another stretch of the house. There is a door to the right, leading to a bathroom, and further ahead on the left is the front door for the house. Across the front door rests a radio. Sitting among the clutter on a dresser, the voice on the radio speaks of a murder and that the neighbors believed they heard chanting just days before the incident took place. I think that's a big enough pass for now. Yes, Sir Creepington Pasta is in the house. Yo. I don't know why I pronounced it pasta. Sorry, I'm just excited. SCP. Dude, are you as excited that Sleep Demon's back as much as I am? Because, oh man. And what a banger to come back with too, dude. SCP, if you didn't know, if you didn't catch it, I am the host of the podcast called The Dark Side of Gaming. Swamp Dweller, produces it. CEOs it, I guess. I don't know how to put it. And I am the host of that show. It's called The Dark Side of Gaming, where we take a super deep dive into the dark mysteries behind some video games and the creators behind them. Super cool. And this one's about Silent Hills, which has been one that I've been looking forward to. So I'm stoked. Oh, and also Sir Creepington Pasta. That's how I'm just going to say it in my head from now on. Sorry, can't stop me. Your Focus Chamber story today? Awesome. I don't know if it came out yesterday or today, but I listened to it today. Super sick, dude. I love the sound design as always. Yeah, Sleep Demon did put a video out, late last night, I think? Oh, yeah, I know you're on vacation, dude. You got your notifications turned off, but, alright, cool. Well, thanks for saying hey. Love you, buddy. Hope you're enjoying your vacay. I'm gonna pop back over to the recording situation and see how many more paragraphs I can get done here. A chandelier creaks overhead, swinging ever so gently from side to side, leading the player past a coat rack to another door. Taking a few steps down, the player pushed through the door, only to find themselves in the same hallway they just tried to escape from. This is PT. This is your hell. Your Sisyphean task. Fruitlessly making your way through the hallway over and over, never able to leave the home. The front door is useless. The windows are useless. Shit, dry throat. The front door is useless. The windows are useless. The boulder slips from you every time you reach the end of the hallway and push the door open. However, this is not all PT has to offer. If that were the case, I wouldn't be talking with you today. No, there is something sinister lurking in the hall that you traverse. Your journey is not one of isolation. Rather, it's a haunting journey of unwinding mystery and shambling threats. As you traverse the hall over and over again, looking at remnants of a once-lived home, various objects and photos scattered around on any one of the 3 dressers within the hallway, the player will begin to notice things changing. And perhaps more importantly, you'll begin to notice that someone is following you just out of your eyesight. You can hear it though, the soft groans and haunting cries. You even begin to doubt your own autonomy. Was that really only 2 footsteps? Or was there a third place just barely audible? What? Hold on, that doesn't make sense. Alright, I'll keep going. Is that really your shadow? You don't remember it looking quite like that. The door leading to the next hallway shuts, and the door to the bathroom behind you swivels open. The cries of a child slip out into the empty hall as more cockroaches spill out. All you can do is investigate through the small crack the door has allotted you. Peering into the dark bathroom, very little is visible. You strain your eyes more, and suddenly, before you have time to process what you've seen, a face appears in the crack of the door inches away from you. Snarling, the figure slams the door shut in your face. You're able to move on as one door shutting opens another. Hold on. This writing is difficult to... You're able to move on as one door shutting opens another. Okay, here we go. You're able to move on as one door shutting opens another, leading you back into the hallway. Alright, that's enough of a passage for now. Sir Creepington says, yes, you do your thing, you're killing it. Talk to you when I'm back next week. Hell yeah, dude. Looking forward to it. Yeah, Sapphire. I know, I got Shining vibes too when I read that part. Here's Johnny. I'm glad you thought of that too. Got a few new viewers. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. Love you. Hope you're having a good day. I am reading a narration about the video game called Silent Hills PT. It's not even a video game. It was just a demo that you could play. Super cool. Alright, jumping back to the script here. I like this, for those that are here, thank you very much, I appreciate you. I like the idea of reading a bunch of paragraphs in one go if I can, and then checking out the chat just to make sure everybody's okay, nobody has any questions, and then coming back to the script, back to the chat. If you like this kind of format, let me know. If you want more chat and less script, or vice versa, let me know. Because I'm going to finish the script tonight one way or the other, and I just thought it would be cool to bring you guys along, give you guys a little sneak peek as to what to expect. I think the episode drops Wednesday, but, you know, I just like doing live streams. It's all good. I'm gonna light a candle real quick, because it puts me puts me in the mood. Not like that, but you get it. Also, here's how much of a, like, predictable, boring guy that I am. I've got like a recording studio space set up in my basement, and I've got a candle down here because I like to smell things. I guess, I don't know. I burned up all my candle. It's gone. I can't use it anymore. So I went to the store to get another one, and I didn't know what the one that I had before was called, or who it was made by, or whatever. But I've been smelling candles at the store where I buy candles, and I must have smelled like 50 of them, and I'm like, I don't know. None of these are really what I want to smell when I'm working. Finally picked one, and I brought it home, and it's the exact same brand and scent as the one that I already had. I guess I just like what I like. You ever go to a restaurant, or do you ever know a person that goes to a restaurant and just gets the same thing every single time because they know they like it? That's me. Bad vibes. Yes. Bad vibes says I'm not okay. Dude, hang out. I will do my best to make sure you're okay. Sapphire says I love candles. Thank you. Yeah, okay, cool. All the ladies in the stream are like, candles. Bad vibes, thanks for coming in, dude. So if you didn't know, man, I am the host of The Dark Side of Gaming. It's a podcast that Swamp Dweller's putting on, and in this episode, I'm doing in this live stream, I guess I'm recording an episode for the Silent Hills mysteries. One that I've been looking forward to for a while, so I'm glad I get to do it. I'm glad I get to live stream it. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to jump back to the script, and we will just keep on trucking, babies. As you turn right, as you had several times before, you're finally met with the figure of a woman who will stalk and torment you for the rest of your time in those halls. She stands by the front door, tall and looming, her still figure shrouded completely in darkness until you approach and the light above her goes off, turning back on to reveal she is no longer in your path. Everything PT does from here on out is engineered to push the player further into uncertainty. What are initially small changes in the script, I can tell there might be a couple of missing words here and there, so bear with me. What are initially small changes in environments will twist and advance until the player is rushing through less bashful events. The player will come across several scripted events, such as coming across a crying fetus with warped features when gaining access to the bathroom. A fridge wrapped in chains hangs in the place of a chandelier, swinging violently back and forth while familiar cries ring out as blood drips from the white exterior. Time after time, attempts to escape the maddening loop bring the player further into depravity. With each loop, more and more will be revealed about the hill you are stuck on, though the pieces to the puzzle you're given are nothing so simple. As with many other games we've discussed, it was the dedication of the internet that assisted in putting the pieces into place. The pictures on the walls were examined. The voices slipping from the ever-present radio were listened to thoroughly, looking for any clues. As players pushed through the halls, they slowly put together the narrative of the enigmatic game. The white walls of the hall turning red, fidgeting eyes painted all over the walls as the player frantically rushes through the hellscape, or they would reveal a hole in the wall the player could look through to witness a grisly scene. The game will eventually force a faux crash screen, causing the player to restart. I think that's enough of a passage for now. Sapphire says, I think I'm not okay. I think the I'm not okay thing is what they say because of their username having bad vibes in it. Hey, Miss Carrie. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good. Facts, says Bad Vibes. Miss Creepy Tail says that's really cool. Awesome. Miss Creepy Tails, Miss MCT. Oh, that's weird that I just called you Miss MCT. It's like I'm calling you Miss Creepy Tails. It's like when people say ATM machine. It's automated teller machine, but we still say it anyway. Can you be more specific on what's cool? Hiya, Miss Carrie. Welcome. Thanks everybody for hanging out in the stream. I'm glad everybody's being so active. if you missed the first little bits, we're getting to know each other. I don't do a whole lot of public live streams. A lot of the streams that I do are like in the middle of the night, and they're just for like my patrons or just the few people that catch it, I guess. But I got more folks than usual in here, and I'm grateful for that. Bad Vibes, Miss Carrie, if you guys could tell me what your favorite part about the day was, I'd love it, man. Dee Dee, yeah. Oh, I won't forget about you. I want to know about your favorite part of the day, too, if you didn't already tell me. Let me check it out. Dee Dee. No, your favorite part was coming home from work. Yeah, I feel that. Bad Vibes and Carrie. Yo, you guys let me know. What's your favorite part about today, man? I know if you're like most folks, it could have been a lot better, but there's still something good that happened to you in the last 24 hours that's worth holding on to and worth remembering. So I just like to be grateful. Flipping back over. Also, it's weird having Bad Vibes in here, dude. I love you, man. You were like one of the first horror narrators that like I really like checked out when I was actively researching this stuff, dude. And then it's weird. It's like you're teaching a class, and then one of your favorite teachers is like sitting in on that class. You know what I'm saying? Bad Vibe says, my favorite part was that my Chargers beat the Raiders. Oh, dude, you're a Chargers fan. That's all good, dude. No judge. Carrie says, taking all 4 of my dogs to the park, seeing them so happy. Carrie, I'll come back to you in a second. Bad Vibes, brother. I was like, if Bad Vibes can do it, anyone can. Nah, not exactly. I've got this bad habit of like stumbling upon something I've never seen or heard of before and going, oh, I like that. I could do that. And then I just kind of give it my best shot. And here we are. What was I going to say? Oh, I'm a Steelers fan myself. I've never been to the East Coast, never been to Pittsburgh, but my uncle was a huge Steelers fan, and I just admired him so much when I was younger. I just liked everything he liked. So, Steelers, we're having a very bad year this year. Your Chargers are doing better than my Steelers. And Miss Carrie, yo, I had to put, I got 2 dogs. I had 2 dogs, but one of them, I collected her ashes today, and I'm a little bit bummed about that. But it's cool, man. It's life. Yeah, man. Happier place, all that stuff. Let's jump back to the script. I forget where I am sometimes, so it takes me a second to remember where I am. Bad Vibes, since you're a narrator as well, answer this for me. Do you thoroughly read every single story before you narrate it, or do you just wing it? Because right now, I'm winging it, brother. This is like a 25-minute Dark Side of Gaming episode, and I read the first couple of paragraphs just to kind of, I don't know, enjoy it before I got to read the rest. But anyways, dude, I'm at the point in the story now where I'm like, I don't know what's coming next. So we are unfolding this live together, dude. That's how I do most of my stories. When I ask for permission, I skim. I'm like, yeah, I think my audience will like this. My 300 subscribers that I'm super grateful for, I think they'll like this. And then I don't actually read word for word and get into the details until I hit record. But it's fun that way because I get to like read it in real time almost. Tell me what you do, if you don't mind sharing. Sippy sip. With each loop, more and more would be revealed. Oh wait, did I read this part already? Yeah, I did. Sorry, I'm a dork. There we go. Armed with only a flashlight to illuminate a now much darker hallway, the player follows a series of tasks until the phone in the hall rings. Upon answering the phone, the player hears a knock at the front. Damn, and my throat is fucking dry. Upon answering the phone, the player hears a knock at the front door. The door can now be interacted with, allowing the player to finally leave the hallway and enter into the dark uncertainty. A short cinematic play, and then your time with PT has come to an end. While players became privy to the story of the tall and pale woman, while players became privy to the stall, oh Jesus Christ, I'm nervous now. While players became privy to the story of the tall and pale woman named Lisa that haunted the player throughout their journey, they also became increasingly aware of the true nature that was PT itself. As I said, the game appeared nearly out of nowhere, with little warning. It was as mysterious as the contents the game provided. PT wasn't a demo for some unknown property, nor was Studio 7780 just an indie studio no one had ever heard of. Players quickly discovered that PT was developed by none other than the powerhouse. Players quickly discovered that PT was developed by none other than powerhouse in the industry, Konami. The game was shrouded, released under the alias of Studio 7780. Furthermore, the director of the project was another titan, Hideo Kojima. That wasn't all, though. Acclaimed director Guillermo... Oh, here we go. That wasn't all, though. Acclaimed director Guillermo Del Toro. It's even said... Jesus Christ. Junji Ito? I gotta look up how to pronounce this guy's name. I'm gonna pause the script right there. One bad thing about not reading the script before you hit record is I'm gonna come across some Japanese names that I don't know how to pronounce. So it's even said that Junji Ito. I'm gonna take just a second to look up how to spell that name or how to pronounce that name. But first, an ad on YouTube, I guess.
Back at Exxon and Mobil stations. First, download the free Exxon Mobil reward.
Aura Mount.
こんにちは、順次伊藤です。
I think it's Junji Ito.
こんにちは、順次伊藤です。ウィンチェスターミステリーハウス。
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I just found a video of him on YouTube showing his house, like MTV Crib style, and he's like, Konnichiwa, Junji Ito. I'm pretty sure is what he said, so I'm gonna do that. Let's hit the chat real quick. Yeah, man. Yeah, losing a dog is like losing a family member, dude. Like, if you've ever lost a dog or any other kind of pet, you know that. It's cool, though. Her name was Leia. She was a princess. Miss Creepytail says, it's fine. It's cool that you are the host of the podcast. I think your work is really cool. Everything is very clear and sounds amazing. Other than my damn voice right now. You know what the smartest thing a narrator can ever do is drink a bunch of milk before a recording session. Professional. Bad Vibe says, if it's a long story, then no. I like to be surprised, and I'm lazy. If it's short, then I may read it first. Okay, gotcha. Sapphire says, don't be nervous. Thanks. Cool. I won't be now. That's how this works. Miss Creepy Tales, I'm so sorry to hear about that. Your dog is now playing with my dogs in doggy heaven. Aw. Yeah, Yeah, Carrie. Carrie Falcon says, that's a beautiful name. Well, so is your last name. Millennium Falcon Star Wars jokes. Okay. Yo, everybody give me like 30 seconds. I'm going to go clear my throat like a son of a bitch and get some more room temperature water. Be right back. You're welcome, Carrie. Well, Dee Dee, thank you for Instagramming out the stream. I appreciate you. And anyone else that has as well, too. I appreciate you guys. Alright, let's see. I'm going to try not to clear my throat like that in front of the mic anymore. I'm sorry. It's one of my pet peeves when I hear other people do that, and I can't believe I'm doing it now. Won't happen anymore. Okay, I left off at that wasn't all, though. That wasn't all, though. Acclaimed director Guillermo del Toro. It's even said Junji Ito, a well-known horror manga artist, was... Okay, cool. I did it again, fuck. That wasn't all, though. Acclaimed director Guillermo... That wasn't all, though. Acclaimed director Guillermo... Yo, this is gonna mess me up. I'm glad you're all here to watch me, like, flub this dude's name. Guillermo. Got it. That wasn't all, though. Acclaimed director Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, it's even said Junji Ito, a well-known horror manga artist, was approached to be involved, though this never got much further than the talks of possibilities. With Hideo Kojima heading such a notable series as Metal Gear Solid, and Konami releasing several big games ranging from Castlevania, Contra, and the most relevant to our subject today, Silent Hill. The internet was abuzz with what PT could lead to. Speaking of the title in relation to the truth behind the game's release, PT was revealed to stand for Player Teaser, a small lead into what was supposed to be Konami's next big project. Why am I saying project? Fucking A. We keep going. A small lead into what was supposed to be Konami's next big project, Silent Hills. For such a short title with such a quiet release, PT was able to make quite the impression on those who picked it up. Channels on YouTube flocked to it. Such a simple setup was easy to implement into videos for reactions or dissection. People were being scared in a time where truly well-built horror games were a dime a dozen. Suffice it to say that PT made a splash. The overwhelming presence of Lisa, ever looming over the player's shadow, created a haunting and intimidating atmosphere. She would attack with very little warning. Small, faint cries would chime in the player's ear. If curiosity gripped you and you swivel the camera, she would be waiting for you. Standing tall over the player, she would close in, face jittering like it didn't belong in your world. She picked the player up like a child, and quickly the camera would shift as she effortlessly broke your neck. That's a good passage for now. Bad Vibes says, alright bro, gotta go, record, keep killing it. You too, sir. Thank you. Hey! Yes! Glitzy Corpse LLC is here. What's going on? In my head, you have many names. You're Glitzy Corpse, you're Barbie, and in my head, you're like 2 or 3 different people, but I also know that you're one person because I just see you with different names. But I'm glad you're here. Thanks for making it. Miss Creepy Tales is familiar with Junji Ito. Then I hope you can confirm that I'm saying that right. Junji Ito? I almost wanted to say Junji Ito, but nah. After hearing the man himself pronounce it, I think Junji Ito, I think that's what I'm going to go with. Glitzy Corpse, if you didn't already know, I am the host of a podcast called The Dark Side of Gaming, and what it does is we take a deep dive into like the dark mysteries of some of our favorite video games, and the creators behind them as well. And it's creepy, it's eye-opening, it's a little bit scary, it's mysterious, it's fun, man. All right, I'll just call you Barbie. MCT says, yeah, Junji Ito was right. Okay, boom. I would have pronounced it Ito, but I did 5.5 seconds of research, and I'm not going to look like an idiot. So yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad you're here. If you're in the chat right now, let me know your favorite video game, either past or present. I want to know, because if there is a potential to make another episode of The Dark Side of Gaming featuring your favorite game and all the weird stuff that went on behind the scenes, it may actually happen. So, I mean, let me know your favorite game. If not for that reason, then just like so we can learn more about each other. The first ever video game that I remember loving was Super Mario Bros. I think it was 2 or 3. Again, my uncle had a Super Nintendo in his living room, and anything he liked, I liked, and I would play with him and my mom. Super Mario Bros. Was the jam, dude. I remember that weird little trick at the end of, in the middle of World 3, it was like World 3, level 3, on the stairs. If you hit that turtle over and over, you get like 99 lives. I do that every time, man. And then beyond that, a little bit more modern, Metal Gear Solid 2. Man, for some reason, I don't like the original version of anything. Like, Super Mario Bros. 3 was my favorite. Metal Gear Solid 2 was my favorite. I had that on PlayStation 1, I think. And another example of me not liking the first thing was... oh, crap. I had it. It'll come to me later. Mary's favorite game is Crash Bandicoot. Heck yeah. I played Crash Bandicoot a whole lot. Oh, also, James Bond GoldenEye on Nintendo 64. I am a dude in my 30s, so yes, that's James Bond GoldenEye holds a very special place in my heart. Barbie says, I have a Triforce tat. So, what you think Zelda got lurking in the closets? Oh, that's funny. Zelda. You know what? As much of a classic Nintendo game nerd that I claim to be, I never played a lot of Zelda, but I will tell you this. I am halfway done with Paper Mario, Origami King, of all things. I bought a Switch for myself for Father's Day, and my wife plays it a lot more than I do. So she's playing, she's awesome. She's playing, what the heck is it called? Animal Crossing. And then when she's not playing that, and also when I'm not doing anything else, I will play Paper Mario Origami King. When I'm done with that, I'm going to get Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I'm going to play the crap out of it, because it looks awesome. Mary, I love Mario too, but yeah, Crash, and I'm into Rayman, and basically platform games are my jam. I feel you. Mary just turned 35 on Wednesday. Hey, happy late birthday, Mary. Oh, man, cool. I hope you did something nice for yourself. Ha, Barbie. Yeah, I'm in my 30s. I could have sworn you were a baby. Thanks. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know how to take that. It's all good, of course. I mean, like, when I was in high school, I've always looked a lot older than what I actually am. But when I was in high school, it got to the point to where like I would show up to a class and people thought I was like the substitute teacher or something, because I just didn't look like everybody else. And and at the beginning of high school, my voice was a little bit lower for some reason, but it's gotten higher since then. I don't know how that works, but like, whatever. Explain that to me. Yeah, I'm not a baby, and that's 31 is a baby. MCT says Phasmophobia. Oh, you've played that game a few times on live, haven't you? I've seen those. I've seen you play those. Yeah, Kolat, the Town of Light. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Masokisia. Alright. Yoshi in the house. Yeah, Barbie's son plays Animal Crossing, and it is awesome. My wife's island is like the sickest thing I've ever seen, and we've also got a boy that's old enough to play Animal Crossing as well, and kind of understand what the goal is. And their islands are right next to each other, and she like makes his island how he wants it to look, and then it's adorable. Is the only word that I can think of. I sound like I'm older than a baby. All right, cool. That's all right. Facts. Barbie says I'm kind of mistaken for a child sometimes. 31 is kinda a baby, but not. All right, cool. Thanks everybody for being so active. Hey, remember candles? No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to jump back to the script real quick if I can remember where the heck I was. Got it. The fear was there. Okay. Also, real quick, I've got a couple of narrators in the house, and a couple of fans as well. I know at least one of you is an aspiring narrator too. But listen, if you're hearing me read this script and you hear me make this sound, like this winking sound, that's just an wake up. That's just a fuck it. Let me just show you. So this is what it is. Here's me recording actual words that are in the script, but when I mess up, I make this sound. It looks like that. So it's a spike. So when I go back later to edit everything, I know that I can just open this up and I can find all the spikes that I make for myself, and those are my edit points. So I don't have to listen to all 25 minutes of the script, because I know when I recorded it, I did a well enough job. And the only thing that I need to look for are these visual spikes that I made for myself by making that sound. So if you hear me doing that during the recording, I don't have Tourette's. But where we at? There we go. But yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, where were we? Barbie says I'm old as dirt though. I doubt it. Loving the chat. Loving the chat vibes here. It's pretty nice. Me too, Mary. This is awesome. I love that people are just having fun. Dude, same. So, I do that a lot when I'm like, and I don't know what I'm going to say next. Plus, thanks. We'd love you even if you did have Tourette's. Maybe it would make my narrations a little more interesting. I've seen, judge me not, but I'm a TikTok scroller. I don't have an actual TikTok account myself that I use like for this, but I'm an active TikTok scroller, and I've come across a few people that are on there that have Tourette's, and they make like these, I don't know, it's interesting seeing people that have Tourette's go about their daily lives and how it affects them, and also how they don't let it affect them at the same time. It's pretty inspirational. All right. Where were we? The fear was there, and players got excited at the prospect of a new Oh, I didn't like that. The fear was there, and players got excited at the prospect of a new Silent Hill game present in the same atmosphere and horror as PT was. Silent Hill is a series rife with possibilities for psychological and physical horror. As with PT, every entry in the Silent Hill world would present horror. What the hell? As with PT, every entry in the Silent Hill world would present horror in such a way that dug its hooks into the main character's narrative, with the monsters and horrors brought on by the infinite fog typically being twisted images of the character's past or his fears. Like the iconic malformed nurse enemy that can be found lumbering towards the protagonist. Like the iconic malformed nurse enemy that can be found lumbering toward the protagonist James in Silent Hill 2. That just reminded me. That's another example of me not liking the first one, but liking the second one and beyond. Silent Hill 2, I played that game I played Silent Hill. I was like, meh, okay. And then I played Silent Hill 2. And then I'm like, all right, let's go. This is what I'm here for. This was amazing. And I liked most Silent Hill games beyond that. Okay, sorry. I got excited. Let me smell my candle. And calm down. It's a Tuscany candle. I guess that's the brand name, Tuscany. And it's called Woodland Path. So if you want your workspace or like a room in your house to smell like what my studio smells like, Tuscany is the brand. Woodland Path is the scent. If any of you guys missed the story that I told earlier, I had a candle in the studio, used all of it. Didn't know who made it or what scent it was. It went back to the candle store after smelling 50 other candles. Finally decided on one that I liked. I brought it home. It was the exact same scent that I had before. So, moral of the story is I guess I just like what I like. But yeah. Tuscany Candle, not a sponsor. They are a representation of the anxiety James developed while visiting his terminally ill wife. Oh, I didn't like that. They are a representation of the anxiety James developed while visiting his terminally ill wife, Mary, in the hospital. Or possibly the most recognizable force of nature within Silent Hill, Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is known to represent the urge for male dominance within James. Lisa herself being a victim at the hands of her husband, the game reveals that Lisa was murdered by her husband as he believed she had monsters dwelling within her. She was shot in the stomach, killing the second spark of life that rested there, and her right eye was also ripped out. Visage? That's the visage she haunts the player with. Bloody dress and empty eye socket. The crying fetus that can be found in the bathroom sink likely represents the child that was lost during the attack. It was all there. All the pieces were in place for the markings. All the pieces were in place for the makings of greatness. A horror game to rise above others and cause a few pants to become ever so slightly damp. The actor Norman Reedus was even slated to act within the game as the protagonist back when The Walking Dead still held powerful popularity. The community continued pushing the boulder up the hill, waiting to crest and receive their reward. But as PT reached a fever pitch, players felt the boulder shift and slip from their fingers before rolling back downhill. It was announced that Silent Hills was canceled. I remember that moment. I was one of the dudes that loved playing that demo, and it was so scary. And then when I heard that it was a new Silent Hill game, I got super pumped. Oh, I was so excited. And then when I read that it was canceled, I didn't believe it. I had to verify that source 4 or 5 different times. And then I don't know. What's that called when you go through the different stages of loss or grief or whatever? No, finally, I just accepted it. I was like, fine, this is never going to be a game. But if you didn't already know, the creator of this game, of Silent Hills PT, went on to still work with Norman Reedus in a game called Death Stranding, or Death Standing, I forget. And even the band Bring Me the Horizon, I think, had a song on that soundtrack because they released a song at the same time the game came out, and they used a bunch of footage from the game in the music video for the song, so I would assume that there was some kind of soundtrack link there. Let me get some water, and then I'll check the chat. Mary says, that's really cool. Thanks for showing that. Yeah, for sure. A lot of my fellow narrators, voice actors, voiceover people, singers that are recording themselves, most of the time they're complaining about how long it takes to edit something. And I get it. It sucks, dude. But if you don't make it easy for yourself, it's going to continue to suck. So that's just my way of making it easy for myself. A lot of professional voice actors or voiceover people, they have a little handheld device. Not a lot, but I mean, enough of them for this to become semi-common knowledge in the voiceover world. They have this little thing in their hand. It's like a clicker. It's almost like a dog clicker. You hit the button and it makes this like sharp, shrill sound. I'm not going to spend money on that. I can do that for free by just doing that. So, I mean, same thing. Same thing. It serves the same purpose for me. Barbie says a family member of hers has Tourette's, and I worked with a dude once that had a swearing problem. Uh-oh. That was interesting, she says. Legit, though. Oh, you legit thought that was a real clicker. Ha! Nice. Is anybody old enough to remember the old console games? I'm starting to believe KC Munchkin never really existed. Old console games. The oldest console game I remember, I guess, and a cartridge would be Super Mario Bros. 2 or 3. And then I've played everything since then. But KC Munchkin, that like 8% rings a bell in my head. And I can't place what it is or where I know it from, but maybe it doesn't exist. Weird. Yeah, dude, I know. Barbie pisses me off too. Daryl would have been sick. In a Silent Hills game, just shooting zombies, and I bet he would have been able to turn one of them zombie dogs into his pet and have like a dog walk around with him. That would have been sweet. I would have loved to have seen that. All right. All right. Back to the script. Bah. The teaser had garnered so much attention and critical acclaim that the decision not to follow up on the title was nothing short of baffling. While the game arrived on storefronts quietly, people were not willing to let it go the same way. Oh, let me do that again. While the game arrived on storefronts quietly, people were not willing to let it go the same way. After Konami announced it was not only canceling development of Silent Hills, but choosing to remove PT from storefronts, the internet fought back. Petitions were created to keep the game on storefronts. People downloaded the game before it could be deleted to make sure they didn't lose out. Game blogs. Okay, here's a word I've never seen before. Chided. Chided? Chided. The context is game blogs chided the company for such a brash decision. I need to look this word up. Chided. That is a real word. I guess it means to scold or rebuke. She chided him for not replying to her letters, so whatever. I need to figure out how to pronounce it.
Chide.
Chided, okay. Alright. The writers of this show, super talented. They go through great lengths to teach me new vocabulary words with every episode. It's crazy. Alright, anyway. Game blogs. Okay, got it. Game blogs chided the company for such a brash decision as in such a short... Oh, Jesus. Okay. Game blogs chided the company for such a brash decision as in such a short time PT had woven its way into the fabric of gaming culture. It was something special, and to take it away benefited no one. Regardless of fan outcry, the game was removed from digital stores in May of 2015, and just like that, it seemed the legacy of PT was snuffed out. Konami announced that their focus was going to shift away from console gaming, deciding to focus on a more mobile market. It was only PT when I pause like this, it's like I need to figure out what words are coming next. It was only PT the company was putting efforts. Oh, okay. It was only PT the company was putting efforts. It was only PT It was only PT the company was putting efforts in to cut ties from. It was only PT the company was putting efforts in to cut ties from. It wasn't long after the cancellation of PT that Konami announced it would be parting ways with Hideo Kojima, even going so far as to ban him from accepting an award won by Metal Gear Solid 4. The company seemed content tanking their reputation with what amounted to a scorched earth approach to shifting focus. Fans, though, were not so eager to let the moment PT had to shine slip from their fingers. Those who still had access to the game would continue to look through files and narratives, picking apart whatever they could find to increase the game's life. For example, despite being delisted, data miners were able to prod the game's files and find out that Lisa and the fetus weren't the only entities in the game's code. It's not clear why the files are there and not used within the playable teaser, but there is a full model of a female creature. The monster only had one leg and is meant to stretch toward the player, taking up the space of an entire hallway. There's also those that messed with the game's code until they were able to break the playable boundary, letting the players finally escape the home and explore the streets. That were present in the game's ending cutscene. Checking out the chat real quick. MCT, gotta hop out. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Yes, man, we will. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's like almost lunchtime where you are, probably. Barbie, yeah, I do want to learn how to say Wendigo. Wandigo. Teach me how to say that word. In my head, it's just been Wendigo, but I know it can't be that easy. I'm gonna flip back over to the script. In a video uploaded to YouTube by Lance McDonald, we can see the rendition of these streets. Floating around the space beyond the hallway, it's surprising that so much of the area was rendered and given collision. Cars can be found abandoned by the sides of the roads and cluttered together in parking lots. Fire escapes climb high on the sides of multi-story apartment buildings. Trash is thrown about the streets, keeping the area from looking too repetitive. The oppressive silhouettes of water towers loom high above the player's head. It's impressive, the level of detail and work that went into the areas that the player was never meant to see. But the area surrounding the hallway has an unmistakable aura that is reminiscent of Silent Hill. The area is bleak, and it reeks of long since abandoned construction for a town seemingly becoming empty overnight. It's easy to imagine the monsters that would slowly chase the player through the streets dimly lit by overhanging lights, or the interiors of the surrounding apartment buildings that no doubt have endless hallways lined by locked doors. Speaking of things the player was never meant to see, another asset was found in the game's code that was fully ready to be implemented, but isn't something the player could activate. Within the bathroom, the bathtub normally has two states, empty and half full, but within the code, a third state exists. One where the bathtub is full, water threatening to drop onto the bathroom floor at the slightest movement. One where the bathtub is full, water threatening to drop onto the floor at the slightest movement. With that water rests a familiar body, that of Lisa's, resting limbs and most hauntingly, headless. Yeah, that's fine. Barbie, send me a message like of you saying it, because that's how I learn. Just in case there's anybody new in the chat that's just showing up in the last couple of minutes, welcome. Happy you're here. I am the host of a podcast called The Dark Side of Gaming. It's a show where we take like a deep dive into the mysteries of some of our favorite video games and the dark secrets of the creators that made them. You know, it's very, very creepy, very scary. So if you like horror and you like video games, this is for you. I'm recording an episode live right now. This one is about Silent Hills PT, the playable demo. One of my favorite ones. It's damn, very cool. And if you are in the chat and you haven't yet, tell me your favorite part of the day today. I'm curious. I have a hard time keeping track of who's in and who's out and who's like interacted or not. The way I think I'm just using like the regular YouTube stream thing, and I'm not savvy on how the back end works. So if that's you, if you're watching and you haven't told me your favorite part about the day yet, I want to know. I'll give you a second to think about it while I read this next passage. Another secret regarding Lisa was discovered... Oh, shit. Another secret regarding Lisa was discovered as players messed around with the game and its files. From the moment the player wakes up, their flashlight, the model of Lisa is tethered to the player. Okay. From the moment the player wakes up, their flashlight, the model... Come on, man. From the moment the player wakes up, their flashlight, the model of... Okay, whatever. Another secret regarding Lisa was discovered as players messed around with the game and its files. From the moment the player wakes up, their flashlight, the model of Lisa is tethered to the player. She's coded in such a way that her body is always resting just behind the player out of their eye line. This is what allows Lisa to wail in your ear and add a third footstep to yours, as well as manipulate the shadows on the wall. Even outside the game, small tidbits of information were doled out. For example, Kojima himself revealed that Studio 7780 was a hint to the truth of the game's purpose, with the numbers 7780 that related to a prefecture in Japan called Shizuoka. Shizuoka. Okay, I'm going to go with that. With the numbers 7780 that related to a prefecture in Japan called Shizuoka. The name Shizuoka literally translates to quiet or silent hill. With the game are even references to Orson Welles' The War of the Worlds. Implying that aliens might exist with PT. This wouldn't be a new concept to Silent Hill as a series, though. Many of the games feature joke endings that would trigger when specific conditions were met. In these endings, the main character would come face to face with aliens, possibly hinting they were behind the incident behind Silent Hill, though these endings aren't considered canon in any regard. With all these discoveries, it's truly a shame we will likely never see the visions Kojima had for the series, the horrors and puzzles that await the players, the boulders we would have to push within Silent Hills. The game itself is now reminiscent of the ghost town that it was set in. Ideas and possibilities left abandoned by the side of the road. But much like the cunning of Sisyphus, people weren't quite so willing to let what could have been die. T team. It is a dry night for me tonight. I'm going to go fill up my water again. Stay cool. Back in like 10 seconds. Much better. Also, another thing, if you're in the chat and you haven't told me your favorite video game yet, change that. I want to know. What did you grow up playing? What are you playing right now? When somebody says best video game of all time, what comes to mind for you? I'm going to flip back to the script and see... Yo, there's like... 1, 2, 3, 4... There's 4 paragraphs left. Whoa, there's 4 paragraphs left. This is kind of a short one, but I love it. Here we go. I thought I knew where I was, but I don't. Okay, got it. I know where I am in the script. Here we go. While PT and Silent Hills were never going to make it back onto the dashboards of their PlayStations, the Ripples calls... When I get to the end of a long script like this, I get tired. Also, it's midnight where I am. I start to feel a little bit lazy and... Ooh. I'm stoked that I got to read this story and learn all these behind the scene things and tell you about them too. This episode will be fully edited, music, the whole thing. It should come out on Wednesday, I think. But this is your sneak peek right now. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to finish this episode strong. Here we go. While PT and Silent Hills were never going to make it back onto the dashboards of PlayStations, the ripples caused by their game-changing presences are still felt to this day. Games like Visage and Layers of Fear are heavily inspired by the atmosphere and approach the horror that PT presented. Even another powerhouse horror franchise, Resident Evil, seems to have taken a page from PT's book. Resident Evil 7 returned the series to its more horror-centric roots and presents the series' first venture into first person. It's hard to escape the similarities in the game's engines as they... It's hard to escape the similarities in the game's engines. Oh no, I bumped the mic. That's the last thing a voiceover person needs to do is bump the freaking mic. Alright, cool, all good. It's hard to escape the similarities in the game's engines as they similarly present the world. A world of tight hallways and winding corridors full of uncertain horrors chasing after you. Even as recent as 2020, the game Phasmophobia was released, a more corporate experience. The game keeps the player confined to tight spaces as they work together to discover... The game keeps the player confined to tight spaces as they work together to discover and overcome the supernatural beings haunting the building. Though we may never see the version of Silent Hills that Kojima and the other minds working on it had planned for us, we can still revel in how that game shook up the genre and created a new spark in a slowly dying breed of games. While that boulder may have slipped from our shoulders, as we walk back down to the rock and place our fingers to the grit, with PT, we discover that some boulders are worth pushing up that silent hill. Oh, man. Yo, the writers on this episode, so good. Let me see who it is. This episode was written by Sam Riding. He's on Twitter, I'm sure. Yeah, I know he is on Twitter. I think I follow him. Sam, dude, I don't know. If you're listening now, if you ever listen to this, amazing. I love your work. Let me check the chat real quick. V's here. Hello, V. Ha. Barbie says Zelda. Yo, V, thank you again for letting me use your, you can be whoever you want to be. I know you saw it, and I know you commented on it, but I'm so grateful for it. Thank you again for sending that to me and letting me do that. Barbie, I got yours too. Yours is coming. I gotta make a video for yours. V says, I'm currently playing Call of Duty Cold War. Dude, I want to play that game so bad. The last Call of Duty game I played was Black Ops. It's been so long, man. But damn, yo, I love that series. Carrie's playing World of Warcraft right now, but I loved Donkey Kong as a kid. Yeah, dude, who didn't? When they had Donkey Kong and Mario Kart, I was like, this is awesome, man. Come to find out, Donkey Kong, I doubt this actually happened in the game, and I doubt that this was actually planned, but I always felt like if you were Donkey Kong and Mario Kart, you weighed more, so you went slower. It's probably not true, because the game physics were probably the same for everybody, but I was always either Mario, because he's the main dude, or I was like Toad or Yoshi, because they're smaller characters. They probably didn't weigh as much, so they could go faster. I know that makes an ounce of sense if you kind of think about it, but that was just my thinking. Sapphire says, I have to go, need to get up early in the morning. Sapphire, all good. I'm so glad you were here for this. Thank you for sharing and chatting with everybody. Have a good night to you. All good. All right, listen up, everybody. This has been awesome. I love this. How long has this been? Where do you see? Almost an hour and a half? Good Lord. Awesome. I've got a lot of editing to do. That's the most boring part, but I fly through it. I showed you how to edit super fast, but listen up. I'm grateful for everybody that popped in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for chatting. Episode's over. I love you all. I'm going to let you all go, but before I do, there's one more thing that I want to say. You can be whoever you want to be.